Welcome to Lancaster Safety's year-end safety wrap-up, where we'll review three main topics: the key safety initiatives from the previous year, a map out of our OSHA predictions for the upcoming year, and lastly, what Lancaster Safety is focusing on that will help your company's safety program. This video contains tons of valuable information, so stick with us until the end. We're going to start off today with what we call the safety wrap-up. We'll review the key initiatives from this past year in case you may have missed anything. If you do have any questions after this, don't hesitate to give us a call so we can review things more thoroughly. OSHA inspection penalties rise again. New OSHA penalty amounts became effective January 17th of 2023. As you may know, OSHA evaluates these each year, so we will likely see another adjustment coming soon. The National Emphasis Program, or NEP, for outdoor and indoor heat-related hazards remains in effect to protect employees from heat-related hazards resulting in injuries and illness in outdoor and indoor workplaces. OSHA issued a revision to the combustible dust NEP. It sets forth a new approach for locating establishments to inspect. They also added a number of industries to the program, including commercial bakeries, truss manufacturing, cut stock, resawing lumber and planning, printing ink manufacturing, leather and hide tanning and finishing, and grain and field bead merchant wholesalers. In July, OSHA launched a 3-year NEP to prevent workplace hazards in warehouses, processing facilities, distribution centers, and high-risk retail establishments. They'll also take a look at heat and ergonomic hazards. Lastly, falls are the leading cause of fatal workplace injuries. Because of this, OSHA issued an NEP to focus on reducing fall-related injuries and fatalities. Earlier in the year, OSHA announced enforcement guidance changes that not only save lives, but also target employers who put profit over safety. The goal is to make penalties more effective to stop employers from failing to comply and repeatedly exposing workers to life-threatening hazards. OSHA launched a new initiative that focuses on enhancing enforcement and providing compliance assistance to workers in the engineered stone fabrication and installation industries. There are several potential changes currently in the proposed rule stage, which are relative to hazardous waste operations and emergency response, personal protective equipment in construction, authorized employees during workplace inspections, and protection for temporary farm workers. If any of these apply to your industry and scope of work, it is strongly advised to be on the lookout and stay tuned to our updates for further information. Make sure to catch our newsletters to keep posted on any changes. As you may know, record keeping is a big thing for OSHA. The emphasis is not only documenting workplace injuries and illnesses, but also tracking them to identify trends and how they can be properly mitigated. The Injury Tracking Application, or ITA, transitioned its login procedure to the public's one-account access to government applications, login.gov. All current and new account holders had to connect their ITA account to a login.gov account with the same email address to access the application. By now, you should have handled this change, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Lastly, OSHA expanded their submission requirements. The final rule takes effect on January 1st, 2024, which is just around the corner, and now includes the following submission requirements. Establishments with 100 or more employees in certain high-hazard areas must electronically submit from their Form 300 log of work-related injuries and illnesses and Form 301 Injury and Illness Incident Report to OSHA once a year. These submissions are in addition to the submission of Form 300A, Summary of Work-Related Injuries and Illnesses. To improve data quality, establishments are also required to include their legal company name when making electronic submissions. OSHA's Top 10. Each year, OSHA releases a list of the top 10 most frequently violated standards. This year, the list was announced at the National Safety Council Expo in September. Fall protection remains the top citation for a staggering 13th year in a row. While most falls occur in construction, it is imperative to train all employees on fall hazards and ensure their safety. The biggest change we saw this year was respiratory protection falling to number 7. Check out the rest of the list and take note of the industry-specific standards that we present during your annual OSHA Introductory Training module. Here are the top 10 most frequently violated standards. Next, let's attempt to predict future changes with OSHA. What's the status of OSHA's proposed heat stress rule? You may recall that we reviewed this last year too. There has been much deliberation about OSHA implementing a national heat stress standard to prevent heat stress-related injury and illness. The National Emphasis Program on Heat Stress-Related Cases has been in effect since 2022, and many southern states collaborated to implement their own regional emphasis program. OSHA issued an advance notice of proposed rulemaking for heat injury and prevention in October of 2021, but a national OSHA standard related to heat illness has yet to be established. Without that specific regulation implemented, OSHA generally relies on their general duty clause to issue any corresponding citations related to heat stress. There are several potential changes currently in the proposed rule stage, which are relative to hazardous waste operations and emergency response, personal protective equipment in construction, authorized employees during workplace inspections, and protection for temporary farm workers. While these proposed rules all have different timelines, they do allow for comments to be given which can alter the trajectory of potential rules. If you have any questions on a specific one, give us a call and we can provide you with more information. Also, keep an eye on our newsletters where we announce changes, proposed rules, and final rules. We mentioned it already, but with the rule taking effect just around the corner, on January 1st to be exact, let's revisit. OSHA expanded their submission requirements, which now includes the following. Establishments with 100 or more employees in certain high-hazard industries must electronically submit information from their Form 300 log of work-related injuries and illnesses, and Form 301 Injury and Illness Incident Report to OSHA once a year. These submissions are in addition to the submission of Form 300A, Summary of Work-Related Injuries and Illnesses. To improve data quality, establishments are also required to include their legal company name when making electronic submissions. Lastly, we know that record keeping can be very confusing. We'll be hosting a few webinars in January to review the information more thoroughly. You can ask questions then or set up a consultation with your safety team as well. We've now had the time to review what OSHA has been up to in 2023 and what we can expect for next year. But before we close up, let's address what you can expect from Lancaster Safety. Our goals for you are always to become OSHA compliant, reduce accidents, increase efficiency, reduce workers' comp costs, be known for having a positive safety culture, and boost employee morale. These goals have been set and in place for all of LSCI's history, but we know this is a partnership and a two-way street. What are your goals? What do you have planned for 2024? We encourage you to sit down with your team and discuss what areas to focus on next year. We want to help you achieve these goals, and starting off on the right foot in 2024 is how we'll get there. Next up, we'd like to address our biggest change in 2023. This past year, we launched our revamped safety management portal, previously known as the Client Portal. Not only did it get a name change, but it also got a facelift with new content and a better safety-focused search. The SMP still includes our checklists, forms, newsletters, webinars, and regularly updated content. What it now also includes is a file vault that allows you to house your own content, training records, inspection reports, and more. The new portal is designed by us for you. We're constantly adding new content and bookmarking information recommended for you. We hope you had a chance to test it out, but if not, sign up today. We know that training is one of the most logistical challenges that your businesses face. You have employees working on different shifts in the office or remotely, and employees working in a variety of departments. We strive to provide you all of the different options for training, including in-person, live online sessions, and our online OSHA Training Center, also known as OOTC. The OOTC is module-based and allows employees to train without the hassle of coordinating all employees at the same time. For more information on any of these options, give us a call and we'll be happy to review them all in detail. Thank you so much for staying tuned for this final announcement. We look forward to this year-end video all year. It's exciting to see the changes OSHA has made, what they have in store, and how we can best serve you. If you have any questions or suggestions to improve our services, reach out to us today. From all of us at Lancaster Safety, have a safe and wonderful holiday season.